What mining technologies would I not invest in? As an entrepreneur who has commercialized technologies into the mining sector and also now an angel investor, I get asked this question quite frequently because I do due diligence and help to vet these technologies. I'm going to go over 4 different technologies today that I wouldn't invest in. The first is genetically modified bacteria to enhance heap leaching or extraction or anything like that. Anytime we're looking at genetically modified bacteria, yeah, in the laboratory, they probably do some great stuff. Getting that into the field and getting actually applied full scale is a whole different thing. The regulations around it are challenging, and also a lot of times the heap leach efficiencies, and like we're talking bioleaching and bioextraction here, the efficiencies aren't necessarily a huge issue around the bacteria. It's around actually the ability to get the chemicals, the reagents, all the necessary things to the ore. So it's about grind size, around the hydrology of the heap leach, not about the bacteria themselves. A second thing I wouldn't be investing in is phytomining. So when people want to use plants to plant something across some old tailings or a contaminated area, and they're going to use the plants to soak up the metals essentially, and their plan is to then do something with those plants to, they think they're going to make value out of it by the amount of metals they get in the plants. This doesn't even really work from a perspective of remediation, because the feasibility of planting a crop on a mine site is just so far out there. This isn't to say that someday there won't be new agricultural practices that can be developed where they have the equipment to do this, but right now the equipment to plant and harvest plants and crops on a mine site doesn't exist because the type of terrain and so forth, and even just the challenges of growing things in tailings, which is very nutrient deficient and hard for those roots to get access to the things they need. Not only that, but the amount of metals, when you just look at this as a total mass, is so insignificant that to try to change up a metallurgical process to reprocess plants is not really that feasible. Yeah, people will say they have a second way, like they're going to make it into biochar and all these things. The thing is, I've never seen it actually economically work out in the numbers, and it's just not viable to do this on a mine site to try to plant a crop. Let alone when you look at in Canada, you can't go and just plant agronomic plants across a mine site. They're supposed to use native plants in their remediation to allow for succession of the ecosystem. So you're preventing ecosystem succession. The third one is I don't like the technologies that are focused on reprocessing of the tailings. Yeah, everyone knows there's metals in there. That's not a new finding. We know this very well in the mining sector. The issue isn't about how to reprocess the tailings in the sense of actually getting them through a metallurgical circuit. The issue is typically around how to actually get those tailings out of their storage facility, because they're typically in a facility where there's a dam or something like that. And when you start bringing out those tailings, which are solids, it's like tailings are like sand. When you start bringing that out, you're risking structural stability. So if I saw somebody working on technologies that would safely remove those tailings for reprocessing, that would be cool. But the actual reprocessing technologies, not so interesting. The fourth one, near and dear to my heart, water treatment. I love new water treatment technologies. The thing I don't want to invest in water treatment is companies or technologies where they say they've recognized that there's a waste stream from the water treatment that is worth all this money because there's metals in the waste stream. Every single water treatment technology that exists produces metals in a waste stream. That's just how water treatment works. You've cleaned the water, and then the things you've cleaned out of it have to go somewhere. They go into the waste stream. The thing is, you have to look at how much metals is in there, what is the total mass of that, and is it economically feasible to reprocess? As an example, a lot of gold mines have copper in their wastewater that we treat because the copper is used in part of the cyanide destruction circuit. So they've actually added copper into the water as part of the process, and now the water treatment system removes the copper. So yeah, there's copper in the water treatment waste stream, but gold mines aren't set up to metallurgically process copper. So you have to ship it somewhere that can process it. And those waste materials from the water treatment, the mineral structures is not the same as what most metallurgical circuits are set up for. So the economics of this just doesn't really work out. You're shipping things all over the place. The value's not there. But yeah, sure, there is metals in water treatment waste streams at every single water treatment plant that exists around the world. But in the sense of mining, it's not typically a feasible thing to do. And it's something that isn't actually new or novel. It just really indicates to me that those people coming into water treatment and mining don't know water treatment or mining. So there you have it. There's 4 things. Those are focused in the area that I know best in mining, which is on the environmental and remediation side of things. What else? What else have you seen? What would you like me to weigh in on or ask some friends about?